Okay, my brain's been going a million miles an hour since I did that last video, and this is the composite video mod for the 2600. And what I was talking about in the last video was, instead of using these panel mount RCA jacks, I was going to make a little circuit board to do it with, and make a little case like I do my AV adapters for my Commodore stuff. So what I did was, I've got these VIC-20 AV boards here, and they're perfect for this because they're super simple. And if you can see, the audio left and audio right are already connected together on this board. So what I did was I chopped it off, and I took some extra AV jacks I have, and I soldered them in. Now, they're not the right colors because these are just extras I had laying around. But what is good is the audio left and the audio right are connected together. So let me get my tester straight behind you. Here we go. And I'll show you. This will make it easy because there's just mono out coming from the Atari 2600, of course. So, in order to hook it up to a sound bar or some type of sound system, you're going to want it connected to both left and right. So you see here, they're both connected, left and right. So that's great. That'll be perfect for our little makeshift board here. And so basically, this will be my breakout. I'll have my wires that come from here, from the AV mod, and they'll come through my 2600 where the video wire comes through now, and all this will be trimmed off. It'll be in a case, and it'll mount right above this hole. Okay, now after I test all this and I look at it and hack everything together, we'll make a proper PCB and set it up correctly. Well, also for this 2600, there's a pause mod. So what I want to be able to do is combine the audio output and video output, the composite output, with the pause mod. And there's also an LED mod, because this old Atari doesn't have an LED, correct? So whenever I was checking this bad boy out, this video mod, you can see it's got 5 volts coming into it. So what I'm going to do is jump this wire that's cut off that goes to your output line, your audio video output, and we're going to connect it over here to the 5 volts. That way we have 5 volts running out. We're going to connect that 5 volts to a nice little LED so that everything will be self-contained in this one little mod here. And we'll mount it somewhere here, and the LED will point upward. But that's going to come, unfortunately, in a few weeks, because right now it's Chinese New Year, so I can't get any PCBs made up. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do. We'll do this. I don't think it'll take that long. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get all my connections made. I'm going to reconnect this 5 volts here, and then I'm going to take the output lines and connect them where they should be on the back of these audio video outputs. So we'll stop the video and start back up. Okay, so I got all my video mod hooked up, and I hooked up a LED mod, and I've got it all hodgepodge together here. I got my little breakout for my AV with my LED on it. Of course, I'm going to make a nice little enclosure and everything for this. I've already designed the PCB and the internal PCB. So, and I got them ordered, so they're going to be on the way. But for right now, I got it working, and we're going to fire it up, and we'll make sure that the LED mod's going to work. And there you go. So we'll have the power mod built in with the external module. Also, I've designed it up to do the pause mod all from out here, so you won't have to do anything to the case at all as far as drilling a hole or anything. So here we go, fire it up. I got it hooked up to my big TV up here, into the sound bar, and I don't know if y'all can see it because of the lights. Go turn the lights off. Here, I'll hold the camera. Go turn the lights on so they can see the screen better. There you go. That's not too bad. It looks better in person. Sounds good. I gotta go into the sound bar. It sounds pretty good. Video is really good. Looks like I might need to turn the brightness up on my TV just a touch, but that's because we watch just watch movies and stuff in here with it. So it's a little darker there. Would be for playing games. It's been a long time since I played this game. Woo. I remember going to the store and getting this game, and I can even remember what the box and everything looked like. So anyway, it actually did pretty good. I think I've got some cleaning up to do with these mods and everything. Here you go. You can turn the lights back on. But we clean up the wiring and everything. We're going to go back over here to the test workbench, and I'll show you what all I did. Right. So here we go. This is what all I did to get this to work. The first thing I did was replace the two capacitors. This is a 2200 UF capacitor. This is a 0.47 UF capacitor. And then I changed the voltage regulator just to make sure you know, it was still good. This is a luckily I had several of these things just sitting around. It's a 7058 voltage regulator. It's okay. So what I did was I removed I had this all videoed and I erased it by accident, but this RF modulator goes here where these holes are. I desoldered it from those, and then I took my video mod PCB. This was made by Commodore Kaz. We're gonna have them in the store. I've already worked on, like I said a minute ago, a little bit more of an upgrade for this, so we'll have that available also. I also took out the RCA jack that was on here, and there was a little connector here that jumped the signal from here over to the RCA jack that was built into it. Okay, so what I did was I came over to my voltage regulator and I tapped into the 5-volt line, which is the bottom. I ran me a wire over to this empty hole where it used to jump over to this RF jack here, or RCA jack, and that allowed my 5 volts from my regulator to go to the second pin. And so then what I did was I just hooked in my resistor going up to my LED. So that's how I got my LED mod over there. And of course, this is all just slapped together just to make sure everything was going to work the way I wanted it to, until I get the permanent, better looking boards and setup in here. But anyway, you saw the result of the video mod, and I think it looks pretty good. So as far as doing the pause mod and all that, I'm going to wait on that until I get the board in that I have ordered. So what I'm going to do right now is just put all this back in here, and eventually I'll make a nice little case for this, but until I get the finished product, I'm just going to leave it like this. I might wrap it up in some tape or something to keep it from touching anything. But so that's going to be it. I'll have a differently designed PCB coming. It's going to be a little smaller than this with a few extra connections. That way we can hook up the LED mod to it, and it'll also have a spot to hook up the pause mod later on if you want to. We'll use a little bit different cable because I'll need a couple of more lines coming up to the top. But anyway, that's a little bit later. So what I'm going to do right now, just put all this back in the box and hook it up, and we're going to play with it some today. Okay, so we got it all back together. I cleaned it up a little bit, got all the dust off of it. with the mod here, I'll end up coming out with some nice black cable and put a little nice black enclosure, mount it right there. So that'll end up looking pretty good. The only other thing is my rubber feet are missing, but I got plenty of them from my power supplies, and they're the exact size I need. So there we go. She's all back together and ready to rock and roll. Cool. Looks good. We're going to go over here and fire it up. I got a few cartridges that came with it, and we'll see what all works and what doesn't work. But we'll get another video back up as soon as I get my boards in to finish out the mod to make it look cleaner.